welcome to one of the most iconic circuits here in the UK, arguably the home of British motorsport. Silverstone today hosts the finale of the BRSCC Mazda MX-5 Championship, with first and second place on the podium already decided. Third place is still very much up for grabs. Let's see what happens as we go over to the commentary box in Duncan for the first race.
So welcome to Silverstone, and we have race number 1 for the Mazdas lining up on the screen just now. Tom Roach and Jade Edwards at the front row of the grid, with Brett Smith and Alex Preston row number 2, Charlie Charman and Simon Goddard, and with Daniel Rogers and Alan Henderson. Now it's going to be quite interesting because the championship is, Tom Roach is the champion for 2013. Having said that, we've still got Preston, Charman and Goddard all in a big fight there. We've got Alan Henderson as well trying to cement his place in the championship. And today at Silverstone we have a 35 car field, which is absolutely huge. We're using the International Circuit of Silverstone. It's the southern loop of the famous Grand Prix track, which includes the hangar straights and the lovely wing complex, which is on our right hand side as we're looking at the cars on the grid just now. So incorporating the Silverstone wing, great place for the Mazda MX-5 Championship, the BRSCC Championship, to finish its season at the home of British motor racing, that is Silverstone. So massive field at MX-5s, the biggest by far that we have seen all year. And Ian Prescott in 38th, all the way down there at the back end of the grid, 38th position for Ian Prescott. And we're about to go racing here at Silverstone straight away, and we do. And Jade Edwards gets an absolutely cracking start off the front of the grid, by far and away her best qualifying performance out of 38 cars. She tweeted she was very happy she got onto the front row off the grid. But as the guys now all head down through the first corner, which is the Old Abbey, and then through the new farm section, we go on board with JJ Clements here. Jonathan JJ Clements just trying to find himself a little bit of track time and space and correcting a little bit of oversteer there. The sun is shining here, the camera makes it look actually brighter than it actually is, but the track's still very, very wet, as Alan Henderson is the man in front of us right now, and it's getting a little bit close here. Close for comfort, you could say, as they come through the farm area of the track onto the link, and then we make our way onto the hangar straight, and this is bound to be absolute slipstream city in the MX-5s as we all head along the hangar straight here. It does narrow as you go underneath the bridge, but we seem to be okay. JJ Clements, the Magma People car, making a good move there, getting past Will Blackwell Chambers as we head down in towards Stowe Corner. For the first time of asking, it's Tom Roach who leads away from Alex Preston. Jade Edwards down in third position just now. These guys just having to feel their way around because the track has changed considerably, and the weather conditions are deteriorating all the time, as Alan Henderson gives us some cracking onboard footage now as we come down through the Vale towards Club Corner, the Silverstone wing on our right hand side just now. And here we go, jockeying for position just ahead there, but it's number 1, the Blendini Motorsport car, but a bit of a nudge there. That was Alex Preston getting all out of shape as he went through the Vale, through Club Corner. But leading at the end of the first lap is Tom Roach. He's got a nice commanding lead there. Tom Roach does seem to be such a strong wet weather driver. He really does excel, as Alan Henderson makes a good move past there. He's now tailing Daniel Rogers as he just dabs the brake with his feet there. You can just see the foot cam, you could call it, just at the top of the screen there, giving you a cracking little view of what he's actually doing with his feet there. A wee peek in the mirror as well as Alan goes through Farm Corner in towards Village now. Brett Smith trying to get a look at Alex Preston. It must have been Brett Smith that just had that little bit of contact with Alex Preston there, but it didn't seem to upset Alex Preston too much. The young, hard charging Alex Preston. Brett Smith as well, he's trying to consolidate, or trying to cement, his second place in the championship, and he needs a good couple of results to do that today here. As once again, back on towards the hangar straight, Daniel Rogers takes us down at this time. I think that might be a wave to Alan Henderson behind him there to maybe try and say follow me. Always difficult to understand what racing drivers are trying to say to each other in the car when they're doing a little bit of waving. But down we come towards Stowe Corner. Roach just streaking ahead at the front now. Preston in second place, just fending off Brett Smith. Then Daniel Rogers, Alan Henderson and Jade Edwards. Charlie Charman, Simon Goddard and Blackwell Chambers all going through as well. But there's a lot of defensive driving. There's a waved yellow flag in the background as well there. So waved yellow flag. So no overtaking as the whole field comes in towards Vale. And that's a shame because Vale is such a good overtaking place. It's a place where you can really do a block pass. You can get through on the inside. But it's also a good place where you can fight back through the next couple of corners as you come through Club and along the International Straight here past the beautiful Silverstone wing to click off another lap. On board with Jade Edwards now. Take a big deep breath, everybody, because this is the big corner in towards, little nudge at the back of Alan Henderson there. Almost a little love tap just to remind Alan that yes, you have got a car right behind you. You can see the cars just sliding about there. Beautiful bit of driving skill there from Jade there, just showing absolutely fantastic car control. Catches in a beautiful bit oversteer, and turns in. Alan Henderson got his mirrors full of this white number 9 car, and he's going to have to make sure that he's not too slack, or Jade Edwards will pounce absolutely straight away through the link section. On towards the hangar straight now we go. Edwards needs a good exit from the corner here to try and get tucked into the slipstream of Alan Henderson, and it looks like that has happened, because down the hangar straight we come here. Everything absolutely focused on the car in front, and to try and possibly make a move. You can barely see Jade Edwards. She's that close behind Alan Henderson. Is there going to be some sort of overtaking manoeuvre here? No, not this time. It's quite a long race, but look, almost a late dive up the inside there, but the car slides sideways as it goes in. And look at the beautiful drift from Jade Edwards as she goes through the corner. Great car control there, but loses a good bit of time there. Just having a little bit too much fun in this little rear-wheel drive MX-5 there. Completely sideways through Stowe corner. And yeah, that definitely makes a commentator smile. 10 out of 10 for effort there, Jade. We did like that. Alan Henderson fighting his own battle. Now you can see these cars all very loose at the back. The only man that doesn't seem to have a loose car is Tom Roach. He seems to really excel in these wet weather conditions. The planted car that he has just seems to be driving away from the field just now at the front of the race. The battle definitely on for the rest of the positions. You can see Preston and Smith look like they're battling for second place. Then Roger Henderson, somebody else getting extremely sideways as they come through the Vale section there. Oh, and was that a little bit of contact there? Now that could have been contact, and don't get hit. Oh, there's a big hit into the side, and that's going to hurt. Painful impact into the side there. That was Paul Yeomans who's just been collected. Paul looking over his shoulder. What a great shame. Spins round just on the exit of Vale before Club, and with 38 car field following Paul. Lucky actually only to be collected once there, but Paul Yeomans does look like he is going to continue. That other car, was that Richard Worthington that hit him? The Worthington, I think it possibly was. So, bit of a shame there. 2 cars, well, definitely 1 car eliminated. We can see Chris Hart now on screen, actually, in the number 22 car. Former motorcycle racer Chris Hart. We do like his style, and he's battling with Sam Smith in the number 31 car, as the cars tend to get a little bit lively as they come through the link there. And then again on towards the hangar straight, the iconic part of Silverstone. For those of you like myself old enough to remember the old Silverstone, you'll remember just how quick the hangar straight was, and the corner at the end of it, Stowe, before it cut back into the Vale. Extremely fast corner, but down we come here, focusing on that battle coming towards us now. The Chris Hart and Sam Smith battle. Richard Collins in there as well in the number 5 car. That very distinctive car, number 188, getting himself all sideways. That's Jake Simpson there. Jake managing to kind of control that car. These guys having lots of fun in a very slippery Silverstone there. Richard Collins showing us that he has got just as much skill as Jade Edwards there, and manages to hold that car in a beautiful drift, but it doesn't propel you forward. And you can see he's now under heavy attack from Sam Smith, and 2 cars have gone round him, because Jake Simpson as well has also gone past him as they come in towards the Vale section. And Chris Hart in the black and blue 22 car is the next one to possibly have a go at number 5, Richard Collins, who looks to be a little bit more, well, a little looser than anybody else. Struggling for all sorts of traction. Now side by side with Simpson though, as they head down towards Abbey, the first corner. Quick corner, Marshall standing in the background waiting for something to happen. Let's hope that they all get through this first couple of series of corners without any action, but that looks like Collins has gone round yet. Richard Collins has managed to spin the number 5 car. Not through lack of trying there, unfortunately. Richard finds out the extra limits off the grip in that car, as Chris Hart seems to be. Is Chris Hart looking for the wet weather line there? I think he is actually. Looked like he was in some sort of problems there, locking up the front end of that MX-5. But poor old Richard Collins, he spins out of a good battle which he was having for around about the mid-20s there with Chris Hart and Sam Smith and co. But number 31, Sam Smith, we've got to remember Sam, we saw a race winner at Cadwell Park earlier on in the year. So there is a bit of form there in tricky conditions from what the memory can remember. So Sam Smith, the number 31 car, could be a bit of a dark horse for coming through and cutting through the pack here. As through we catch the rest of these guys all going through. Michael Fisk there having a bit of a moment on the exit of Stowe corner, down through the Vale in towards Club. Track conditions don't really seem to be drying anything. They're still that half damp, half dry way. The kind of worst conditions you could want as a racing driver, to tell you the truth. You're happy if it's fully dry, and you're happy if it's fully wet, but when it's this kind of damp, horrible, greasy way, it really is extremely slippery and very tricky to set a car up for. As we watch number 41 car making his way along the main straight now, that's Kevin Brent. Kevin keeping his nose clean, and that's really what you've just got to try and do on a day like today. As we go back on board with Henderson down the Hangar Straight, we're side by side with Rogers in the 70 car there, and we've just got the slightest of overlaps. We're going to be brave on the brakes as we get to Stowe, and can we make this work? Yes, we're on board with Roger now. Great bit of camera work with the director there, flicking from camera to camera, and look at Roger hanging it on the outside. Daniel Rogers, brilliant bit of driving as Henderson gets a big armful of opposite lock and can't make the move stick. Waved yellow flag on our right hand side as we come in towards the Vale, so another overtaking place sapped from Alan Henderson, but good bit of driving there. Henderson did look like he had that move completed, and then unfortunately Daniel Rogers in the number 70 car just hung it right around the outside and said absolutely no chance. As we see a couple of cars coming through now, we're going to mention that as our track limits once again in qualifying. There was 6 or 7 cars, including Tom Roach, who were having laps disallowed for exceeding track limits, as Alan Henderson almost nudges Daniel Rogers as they go through the fastest corner on the circuit there, and thankfully both guys managed to keep it together there as we went through Abbey and now through Farm. Look at Henderson absolutely sawing away on that steering wheel, trying his heart out as hard as he possibly can here, and he's now underneath Rogers, and he was trying so hard because we're 3 wide, because Jade Edwards was all over the back of Alan Henderson as well. So these 3 all absolutely glued together. Track seems to be drying out a little bit through the link and at the start of the Hangar Straight, and Edwards got a good run through there. Now can Edwards suck up to the back of Alan Henderson here and possibly pull out at the far end of the Hangar Straight? We're pulling out early underneath the bridge, but we have got the speed, we've got the overlap. Keep your eyes on the white car coming towards us now. Jade Edwards with a good move up the inside and makes a move pass, and yes, it's done before we're at the far end of the Hangar Straight. Good bit of overtaking there from Jade Edwards. We'll be happy with that one. Henderson drops down another position after almost making up a position last corner there. On the last lap, we should say. Loses a position this time in towards the Vale. The yellow flags have been withdrawn. No chance for Henderson to get past here though. A little bit of correction just going down through the gearbox on the steering wheel there, just as the back wheel snatched just that little bit in these little MX-5s. But Daniel Rogers in the black and blue number 70 car, then the white car number 9 of Jade Edwards and number 90 of Alan Henderson across the start line to complete another lap. Still at the front it is the Blendini car of Tom Roach, who seems to be having a bit of a jolly out front there. Preston Smith still battling over that second place as a yellow flag goes out in the background there. We'll hopefully pick up with whatever's happening there. But look at this 3 coming towards us. The number 70 car, the number 9 car. Oh, and the back marker didn't see Edwards coming in. Jade Edwards gets completely sideways there. That was extremely lucky there. Nick Ledoyen just getting out of the way there, and that could have been an absolute disaster there. Jade Edwards with a great bit of car control again, showing us just how good she can handle one of these Mazda MX-5s. And now she's got it all to do again because Henderson's got back ahead of her. So as we come down the Hangar Straight this time, there's a fairly big gap there. Alan Henderson will be quite happy with that gap he now has over Jade Edwards, but you can be guaranteed that Edwards will be coming, and that is guaranteed through Stowe Corner. Ticking off the laps here, round the outside of the crack there as well, not the normal racing line. Drivers searching for the grip, usually the off racing line where the stone's just that little bit rougher, and another yellow flag down at Vale there, so lots and lots of problems as the number 8 car sitting in the gravel. That's Michael Fisk, so Michael's having a bit of an exciting day here at Silverstone, and now the sun really is shining there, the camera making it look extremely bright as we follow Jade Edwards through to click off another lap there. Nice and smooth, a little bit of oversteer, opposite lock, but nothing too much to worry about. Looks nice and calm and relaxed behind the steering wheel on this white MX-5 as we turn in towards Abbey. Lots of correction, the Henderson car ahead of us. Lots of correction in the Daniel Rogers car as well, and Jade Edwards is absolutely smooth as you like, carrying more corner speed than both the guys ahead. Rogers doesn't defend from Henderson. Edwards looks to go round the outside of Alan Henderson. That's going to be a brave move if she can make that work, and she has. Cracking 10 out of 10 effort. Really good move as they come through the link from Jade Edwards there, and the track definitely looks like it's starting to dry more and more on the exit of the link there as she uses as much road as she possibly can and almost runs out of tarmac. Henderson picking up a slipstream underneath the Silverstone Bridge, pops out towards the right hand side. Edwards covers that move, and Henderson tucks right into the bootlet of Edwards and possibly is just going to try and follow for a lap to see if Edwards can tow them both up towards Daniel Rogers, who until now really has had a nice time of it, but that could all be about to change with the white number 9 car up into 5th place at the moment in towards the Vale. We saw a car being taken away with a telescopic handler from the other camera view there, so the yellow flags thankfully have now been withdrawn, so that's now a free for all going towards the Vale for overtaking. Through club corner, Edwards getting a little bit out of shape there, but carrying good speed and towing right up to the back of the number 70 car. Is she going to have a look in towards Abby? Not the best overtaking place, but straight towards the inside. Can she make that stick? The car's a big wobble mid-corner. She runs off the track. Alan Henderson sees that it's time to attack. Henderson tries to go round the outside of Rogers. Is Edwards going to... Yes, she rejoins the track, but will she have to let those other cars past, or at least one of them, Daniel Rogers? Did she gain an advantage there? Well, we're not going to bother about that just now. We'll let the stewards deal with that, but it was a cracking effort heading for the apex, car getting it all out of shape. And Daniel Rogers has lost 2 positions now because Henderson also has made that move stick. So Daniel Rogers goes from what was a nice 4th place down to 6th place, and he's following Alan Henderson down the straight now, and he will be the red mist will have come down now as we tow right up towards the back of Henderson. This really is one of the class battles in the MX-5 Championship just now as they come through Stowe once again. Edwards with a little bit of a lead now and looks to be quite happy in that position, but can Alan Henderson catch up from the position which he is in as they come back down towards the Vale? Daniel Rogers looks towards the inside, but he's just feinting across there, not actually having a valid attempt. Daniel Rogers currently in round about 12th place in the championship, so he really does need to get a good couple of results this weekend to try and elevate him up into the top 10 if he can get it. But we really need to remember and try and keep an eye out for Alex Preston, Simon Goddard and Charlie Charman, because they're locked in a big ferocious championship battle for 4th, 5th and 6th position as we go back on board with Rogers as he comes through and more opposite lock as he comes through Farm as well in towards Village Corner. But Preston, Goddard and Charman, the guys in the Blink Motorsport team, locked in a big championship battle as another spinner goes round there. Stephen Craggs in the number 47 car. So Craggsy loops his little black MX-5, drives across the very slippy AstroTurf, which is extremely slippy if it's dry, never mind wet, but manages to get away with that this time. Draw breath for a minute. Down the hangar straight we come. We are back on board with Daniel Rogers. We're looking at Alan Henderson, and Henderson has got a run on Jade Edwards here. And what's going to happen? Edwards defends nice and early, and can she hold him off? We're catching Richard Collins, and Edwards is sideways on the way into the corner. Well held, Jade Edwards. That looked like Marc Marquez or Casey Stoner on a MotoGP bike there, absolutely backing it in, and then Henderson spins up the rears on the exit of the corner, and all that was kind of trying to avoid Richard Collins here. Great bit of car control from both those drivers. Tiny little bit of contact on the exit of the corner. That was 2 cars just sliding across the track into one another. Well done, guys. Great example of car control and drifting there, but Jade Edwards doing it on the way into the corner. Not something we normally see a race car doing. Alan Henderson would have got the best view in the house of that one. I have to say, Jade Edwards looked extremely calm whilst controlling that now into the corner, so well done. There is a big gap ahead though, isn't there? A big gap up towards Brett Smith, who's in 3rd place. And finally we pick up with a little bit of Tom Roach time. The 2013 champion, Tom Roach in the Blendini Motorsport car. It's been a great year for Tom Roach, it really has, especially when we get weather conditions like this, which does happen now and again in the UK. I've seen these guys get extremely lively in the steering wheel, as Daniel Rogers just does there, but they really are a class championship, the BRSCC Mazda MX-5 championship. great to watch and great to be involved in as well. As you can see the size of the field here for the final race, a 38 car field. Testament to how good the organisers put on race events. But here comes your champion, Blendini Motorsport, Tom Roach, and he is getting chased fairly hard by Alex Preston. Alex Preston's not giving him all his own way, but just Preston doesn't have an answer just now. We are coming in towards traffic. Well, that's a Chris Hart battle there. So this could upset the apple cart just that little bit. As Chris Hart's about to go a lap down, we go back on board with Daniel Roger, and he's looking at Henderson and Edwards, still battling ferociously at the Vale. He's got a car control there. Looks like Paul Tucker's the next car up the road. If we just catch a glimpse of the lime green car ahead of Jade Edwards. And Daniel Roger now really starting to toil with the back end of his MX-5. It looks that little bit lively. And it's good fun to be lively, but it looks a little bit too slow, shall we say, on corner exit as Roach gets past a few back markers going through the link section of the course. Number 41, Kevin Brent, just staying well out of the way of Tom Roach there and making it nice and easy for him. As Roachy heads off down to pass Stephen Craggs there on the Hangar Straight. And we go back on board with Daniel Rogers, who's giving us some fantastic views of Henderson and Edwards as he comes out with the link down the Hangar Straight. Now look at that ahead of him, because we can see them side by side, Henderson and Edwards, and it looks like Henderson's got the jump this time. We need to switch to the head-on camera if we can to watch that battle coming down, just to find out exactly who got the position. We'll see them flashing through in just a second here as we watch Roach going in towards the Vale. And yep, Henderson didn't get that move. It was the white car flashing through our screen first of all of Jade Edwards, who was managing to hold on to that. So fighting all the way towards the end. But Tom Roach comes out and heads across the start-finish line here at Silverstone. Tom Roach is really a man in control of the MX-5 Championship, isn't he? As he heads over and takes another well-deserved victory, goes through Abbey and takes his celebrations off the crowd here at Silverstone today. And the rest of these MX-5 drivers, still plenty racing to be had down the field, but a great demonstration at Silverstone on the International Circuit today. The 1.8 mile circuit playing host to the first race for our MX-5s. We still have another cracking one to be had, and we will look forward to that. But your winner is definitely Tom Roach, and the fastest lap of the race also went to Tom Roach, and he did that on lap 12, so he did that quite late on in the race there, so conditions were improving all the way throughout the race. His best lap was a 1:34.1, and Alex Preston kept him on his seat in a 1:34.2. So Alex Preston, the yellow car, in second place. He'll be happy with that, because that really does help Alex Preston in the championship. He's locked in the Preston, Goddard and Charman battle, and we didn't actually see very much of Charlie Charman or Simon Goddard, and that's quite strange, because those guys are usually right in the thick of the battle. But there's your leader, or here's your winner, it's Tom Roach. And let's take a look at the positions, the top 10 here. Tom Roach wins from Alex Preston and Brett Smith, your top 3, with Daniel Rogers and Jade Edwards running at the top 5. Henderson, Blackwell, Chambers, Charman, and the rest of the guys all coming through. And yeah, a whole 38 car field with a couple of non-finishers. We get 3 non-finishers of Josh Van Hook, Paul Yeomans and Richard Witherington.
Third place on the grid, finished third. But what does that mean for you in your championships? Because it's pretty much buttoned up that you're second, isn't it?
Yeah, well, good finish of the year sort of thing. It's my only third year racing. Finished behind Tom. It's not a small sort of feat sort of thing. I'm quite happy with that. I knew I weren't going to be in contention for the championship, but I want to be in contention for wins. I had sort of 6 second places. I think that's almost like 4 or 5 third places, but not a win. I've had a few chances sort of thing. This weekend I was sort of looking for a bit more. My fastest lap in practice, I did sort of 3 or 4 laps sort of faster than Tom's pole time. I just didn't put a lap together in qualifying. Just trying too hard, pushing a bit too hard sort of thing. Trying to push my braking and an extra metre, just ruining the corner sort of thing.
And were you aware that in qualifying Jade and Tom were going around together and using each other for slipstream, that sort of thing?
Only until probably the last 5 minutes, which is when I latched onto the back of them. And I was doing a time that would have put me within a tenth of Tom's time, and that was literally going up to Vale, so the last sort of 20 seconds of the lap. And then a back marker got in the way, and despite that, it cost me 7 tenths, and despite that, I was like, I think, a third of a tenth off the back of Jade. So yeah, despite that, obviously, yeah. But yeah, I don't know, every chance, I should have taken more chances in qualifying sort of thing, and when the chances I did get when I had a clean lap, I just didn't use.
And of course you're following Alex Preston this race all day, and you know, he seems to be flying out there. I know he's got something to prove because he's going for third place, but how important was that for you to stay with him?
Yeah, very important sort of thing. I had a little bit of an edge over Alex for most of the year sort of thing. Yeah, it was a bit annoying. The first half of the race sort of thing, I was easily keeping with him. Probably, yeah, it's sort of ebbing and flowing a couple of times sort of either way. Probably about a second and a half gap for most of it up until sort of halfway through. But similar conditions yesterday for practice, and I was faster than Tom by just over a tenth. I was thinking, okay, that's obviously a really good start. I put my lap in right at the start sort of thing, and just didn't really get a clean lap after that. So I assumed probably if I was in the same lap as Tom, I probably could have been at least with him sort of thing, with a couple of attempts either way sort of thing. Don't know. Like once it sort of started to dry out a touch sort of thing, the amount I gained was like sort of 2 tenths a lap, where they were sort of pushing half a second. I just couldn't add no answer for that.
If we turn our attention then to the next race, what are your plans? Obviously, who knows what's going to happen, but what are your plans?
I don't know. Obviously, if Alex has another demon start like that, hopefully latch onto the back of him going into the first corner sort of thing. I think if he keeps drizzling like this, like it does, and then getting sunny again, it's going to make it very, very greasy. Makes it quite difficult conditions. You'd rather it be dry or wet sort of thing. If it's greasy, you don't know where the grip is, you can't see where the grip is. Yeah, I need to have a look, go through my data, go through my footage, and sort of see where I'm losing sort of thing, basically. Yeah, find another half second sort of thing.
Well, we hope to catch you at the end of the next race, but well done for the race just gone. That was great.
Yeah, thank you for that. Cheers. Yeah,
cheers, Brett.
Yeah. Cheers.
Alex Preston, what a result for you.
Yeah, I was really pleased with it after all the kind of ups and downs we've had during the season, and having the massive crash at Anglesey. It's absolutely fantastic to come back onto the podium.
And you're chasing Alan Henderson in this third place battle, and this was a great one for you.
Yeah, I mean, the start was absolutely fantastic. That kind of like set my mind for the whole race. Blasted past Jade and Tom. They came to keep wheel spinning on the spot, and I just got a lot more grip than them. Went around the outside where the grip was, and tried to keep up with Tom without the whole race. We had a little bit of contact, me and Brett, into the chicane, but that was just a racing incident. We all didn't really know where the grip was with the wet track.
Quickly get that one in for the stewards, yeah?
Yeah, no, it was fine. He came up straight away after and apologised, and we didn't take each other out, so it was completely fine, to be honest.
And what about your game plan then? You started fourth on the grid and you went straight up to second place. Had you got anything in mind, or was it just, that's the way the cards fell?
Yeah, literally, I just kind of got ready for the start, let the clutch up, tried to keep it nice and smooth without any wheel spin. Of course, it did exactly what I wanted it to, and just as soon as I got past Jade and Tom, I thought, hang on a second, this could turn out quite well, this race. And the pace just throughout the whole thing was just really, really good. I was really impressed with it.
And of course, you're not aware of what happens behind you with Alan, but you got a 5-second penalty for exceeding track limits.
I did see the 5-second board come out for him, which of course was a little bit of a nerve breaker, like a kind of bit of a sigh of relief. But I was always just keep up with Tom just to try and get much points as I possibly can, because I know he tried to appeal it and unfortunately failed, which, as bad as it sounds, it plays out good for us for the championship. But we're going to be really trying hard. I believe we have to finish in front of him, just in front, to win and get into third place.
Of course, there's all the points adjustments and things like that with drop rounds and things like that to take into consideration. So you think at this moment you're about equal points?
I believe so. So really all we need to do is, if we could finish in a second place or a first later on, that would be an absolutely fantastic way to end the season.
Basically at least 1 or 2 between you.
Yeah, definitely. And I think we could do it, especially if it rains. I mean, I'm fingers crossed, looking up in the skies, hoping for massive thunderclouds maybe.
Strange things have happened, especially with this weather. We wish you all the best and good luck for this last race.
Thank you very much.
Tom, first place. What can we say?
Yeah, it was a good race. Alex got a really good start, and he passed me and Jade. I managed to stay in second, and then got back past down this pit straight. Yeah.
When we were watching the race, obviously you're in the lead for pretty much most of the race apart from the first few corners there, but Alex was starting to gain on you, and then immediately you put a fastest lap in. How conscious were you of him gaining on your tail?
Obviously looking in the mirror the whole time, and being in the lead, you don't want to make any mistakes. So if I could see Alex catching, I was like, all right, I've got to try harder next lap, and yeah, but I don't know.
And who'd you put the victory down to? Yourself or your team or what?
Everything. I mean, the car's brilliant. You know, the car's handling brilliantly, so thanks to Blendini Motorsport, and the engine's brilliant, so thanks to Blink Motorsport.
And I know you want to say a thank you to a few other people who've got to get their names on telly as well.
Of course, we need to thank Kerry, Derek, Callum and George.
You're the champion, so we'll give you that one.
Thanks.
Cheers, Tom.
So welcome back to Silverstone here, and what a difference the weather is now. We have got proper rain and the understarters orders on the way already. Complete difference in conditions when the track was drying in the first race, but now in this one, well, we have got a definite Silverstone cloud has burst as a ball of spray starts as the cars make their way down through Abbey on towards Village, and we're looking back from Alex Preston towards the Alan Henderson battling up towards him, but it's Tom Roach who leads the way. Preston in second, Henderson looking at third, and look at the conditions these drivers are having to try and deal with here. Absolutely horrible. These little open top MX-5s, they will be getting absolutely soaked inside them. Now, it was great hearing from Bryn Lucas. Thank you very much, Bryn. Some cracking interviews there, especially with Brett Smith and Alex Preston. Always good to catch up with our champion as well, Tom Roach. But Alex Preston saying yes, he did see the penalty board that come out for Alan Henderson. And well, right now, you'd be guaranteed you'd be struggling to see anything. Look at the spray, the conditions as the cars all make their way down the hangar straight here. As somebody darts out for a bit of clear visibility. I think that's Jade Edwards there trying to just get a little bit of visibility, because it's difficult with the ball of spray. No matter how quick your wipers are going, the spray just hangs in the air, and there is not much you can see as we come through Stowe Corner. A few cars running a little bit wide there, and a lot of cars going extremely sideways. Down towards Vale for the first time of asking. Will Blackwell Chambers looking menacing on the inside, and it looks like he's got past Brett Smith, but Brett Smith back on the inside as we go in towards Club. Charlie Charman's in there as well, and it's great to see Charlie starting to figure on our screens, but Brett Smith manages to hold off Will Blackwell Chambers, although it is a big moment, a big wobble mid-corner there, and kind of runs off the track just a little bit. But as we go on board with, look at that, there's absolutely, you can barely see the lights on the car in front of you, and we're on board with Charlie Charman now as we go through Abbey Corner. A little bit of correction again, wipers going absolutely 10 to the dozen, but there's not really clearing very much when you get that much water. Also on the inside there we see the little hand comes off. Charlie unfortunately strapped that tight into his seat, he can't really lean forward and get to the windscreen. Now this will be affecting every driver, it's not just Charlie. Once you're strapped into a race car, there's not much if you can move about really, apart from your arms and legs. You get strapped in extremely tight, and reaching the windscreen, well, it's never really in the manual, is it? As we come through the link section and head off down towards the hangar straight, Matt Robinson, number 69, featuring there. And the only man with a good bit of visibility is that number 1 car at the front, Tom Roach. Look at him, absolutely stretching away as he comes towards Stowe. Then it's Preston. Alex Preston and Alan Henderson. Quite an important battle between those two guys. As we go back on board once again with Charlie Charman, visibility looks like he's managed to reach a little bit more of the windscreen maybe as he comes down towards the Vale at the back of the Silverstone wing. And you can see just the amount of standing water that's on the actual race circuit as well. Drainage very good here at Silverstone, but just the amount of water that's actually falling from the sky, and the flat nature of Silverstone as well. We saw it actually affect the Formula 1 Grand Prix here. That actually miss a couple of practice sessions just with the amount of standing water. Our guys, the MX-5s, they're tough. They can cut through that water and have a little wipe of the windscreen as we are doing it. As we come down through Abbey again, Charlie Charman really needs to figure a little bit better in this race if he can, and try and get some good points, because Simon Goddard, a man who he's battling for with that 4th, 5th and 6th place in the championship, in towards Village. Big weight braking move there, catches Will Blackwell Chambers, I think that is in front of us. Very difficult to get an actual ID from where we're sitting just now, although we can see Charlie sawing away on that steering wheel, coming down through the link onto the hangar straight. Yes, it is as well Blackwell Chambers. I'm going to give myself a pat in the back for that one. It was a good spot. Blackwell Chambers tries to defend, but such was the exit speed from Charlie Charman, he's already passed. Loosens off the seat belts, wipes the windscreen. Brilliant, Charlie. 10 for that one as well. So everybody's getting 10 out of 10 today as Alex Preston gives us a great look back at Alan Henderson, and that's kind of what the light is just now. The other cameras are making it look extremely bright, and that's basically a fantastic reference for us as Henderson comes charging up on the brake there. Tries to brake very late. We see Brett Smith and Daniel Rogers, Jade Edwards, the white car just off the back. And we heard Bryn Lucas with his little interview earlier on with Brett Smith. Brett Smith was actually finding out that Edwards and Roach were almost helping each other in qualifying or towing each other around. But look at this, speaking of tows, what a great slipstream down the main straight there. The start-finish straight for Henderson. He thought about Preston but then thought better of it. As staying in the spray is Alan Henderson. He now ducks out to try and get a little bit of clear visibility, but look on this new area of the track, the new surface of the track, just how much water's actually held. That's very interesting. A lot of water sits there. As up the inside of Daniel Rogers goes number 9, Jade Edwards. Roach again off and away at the front. Then Preston, Henderson, Smith, Edwards and Rogers. And a little bit leery leaving the link section to the hangar straight that time for Alan Henderson. Is he going to duck it? We see Jade Edwards already on the far side of the circuit. Definitely wanting to see where she's going, and Brett Smith out there as well. These guys, you can see just how wide the Silverstone circuit is. You can get MX-5s almost 4 abreast, or 4 wide down there. You could probably get 5 or 6 of them actually. But down through Stowe, Brett Smith and number 39 car. Desperate for that first win. He said that in his interview, he'd love to get a win, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen today, as Henderson has a think about Preston on the brakes there. A lot of people think it's easier just to brake that little bit later and get past, but they're dealing with absolute tiny margins here. A little bit too much pressure on that brake pedal. Alan Henderson would have locked up his front wheels. He'd have slithered past Alex Preston, but he'd have been slow on the exit. He might have gone into the gravel as well, but he's got good drive through the club section this time, and he's going to have the pass made before they're even at Abbey as we go back on to Preston's eye view of it. Now, can Preston do what Jade Edwards done and try and fight, or Daniel Rogers and try and fight round the outside? Yes, he can. Cracking bit of driving there by Alex Preston, the young Alex Preston. We've been saying that all year, but it was actually good to see him on camera earlier on for his driver interview. But Henderson goes back up the inside into Village Corner. Preston tries to possibly cut back as they go through the link and onto the hangar straight. But he's going to have to now get a face full of spray. As look at that on the outside, Brett Smith tries to go the very long, extravagant way around the outside, but it's not to be. Cuts back straight to the inside. Has he got good drive? Yes, he has. But here comes Jade Edwards now. Edwards trying to get good drive, tuck into the slipstream. Tucking into the slipstream's one thing, but if you can't see where you're going, there's always that tendency to feather out the throttle pedal. And it looks like Smith has got the manoeuvre made on Preston. Yes, oh, that was incredibly close. There was a little nudge at the turning, and that's put Preston wide onto the AstroTurf. So much so that our cameraman always loses his picture there. So Preston runs that little bit wide with a little bit of help from Smith and his friends. We now look from Daniel Rogers' point of view on the inside of him will be the yellow car, and has he managed to get past? Here's a little look over there. They're side by side. Charlie Charman's now having a go at Alex Preston, so it's all going horribly wrong for Preston just now. He's lost 2 or 3 positions in the last lap and a half. We pick up with Charlie Charman, who tightens his seatbelts up. I think Charlie must have just had a quick wipe off the windscreen as he goes through Abbey. You can hear just how quick that corner is, though. There's not much in the way of a break before it. And then through towards Village Corner. Farm the corner before it, the very quick left-hander. Easy to entice you into Village that little bit too quickly. And you come over the link bit here where the cars get that little bit lively, shall we say. Great circuit this one at Silverstone. Not the national circuit which we see the touring cars racing on. This is the international circuit, the other end of the circuit, the southern end, and it's just a cracking circuit. It's got a good mixture of corners, and it is by no means a dull race circuit. It's a little bit dreary today, as Preston sees basically nothing as he comes down the hangar straight here. So credit to these drivers for putting up with these conditions, because there'll be a lot of other people who would possibly pull into the pit lane, but not one of them is Tom Roach. He's a man who we know excels in these conditions. We saw it earlier on in the year. And remember, we did get conditions like this at Anglesey. And that made a whole lot of people really sit up and take notice of several drivers, Daniel Rogers being one of them. But Tom Roach heads down the start-finish straight towards Abbey in his number 1 Blendini Motorsport car, the 2013 BRSCC Mazda MX-5 champion, as Charlie Charman. Well, he's not finished with young Alex Preston, is he? No, he's not. Charlie Charman down a gear, brake lights on the car in front. Charman turns in, Preston goes round the outside. There just seems to be that little bit more grip if you go around the outside. That's quite interesting, actually. Charman sideways all the way through farm towards village, and that's enough to get anybody's attention. And speaking of attention, Alan Henderson now under increasing pressure from the blue 39 car and the white number 9 car of Brett Smith and Jade Edwards in that order, as the skies look more and more menacing above Silverstone and the Silverstone wing here today. But here we go, down the hangar straight again. It's Tom Roach is all on his own at the front. We really want to be focusing on that battle just behind him if we can, with Brett Smith, Alan Henderson, Jade Edwards. Daniel Rogers is just off the back of it, and we'll see those guys coming through in just a second. But our TV director, he's going to want to stay with this man, Tom Roach. Roachy thanking Blendini Motorsport and Blink Motorsport, the Charlie Charman, Simon Goddard, Alex Preston effort, the guys who put together the engines for the Blendini camp there. So a strong, very strong setup Tom Roach has. But also thanking his internal team members, and as Bryn Lucas was saying, you're the 2013 champion, defending champion as well. We are happy to let you do that, Tom. As we go back in the field here, that looks like Stephen Craggs having a moment. Oh no, there's a bit of contact there. Oh, a bit of contact. That was a bit of side to side. I just think both cars could have got lost in the spray there. Paul Bishop getting completely wiped out just as they come towards the link. And who was that that tagged Paul Bishop? He sits in the gravel trap there, and I think he is possibly stuck as your race leader comes flashing past that. Difficult for me to see that. I must apologise. It could have been Paul Yeomans, but I'm sorry if it wasn't me, Paul. It's okay. But yeah, stuck in the gravel, number 44, Paul Bishop there, and that was quite close to Tom Roach actually. So that's the type of thing you've got to watch that can catch out. Roach is already crowned champion though, but it's the guys behind him that are going to have to watch for that. Smith, Henderson, Edwards, Charman, Preston, they're all still gunning for positions, and it is quite easy to come unstuck, shall we say, on a day like today here at Silverstone.
Certainly to get through. For a change, Tom Roach didn't have the fastest lap of the race there, but he was going through traffic.
So down towards the Vale again, you can see the standing water on the circuit. Number 26 is Paul Yeomans there, and just behind him just now is your leader Yeomans. Looks like he's staying out quite wide. He notices the Blendini car of Tom Roach and lets him go. Roachy says thank you very much, gives him a little wave there of thanks. And Brett Smith currently is your fastest man on the circuit. Brett Smith with a lap time of a 1:36.5. So good effort from Brett Smith there, and he'll be happy with that. But he did say in his interview that he's so desperately wanting a race win. He's had pole positions, he's had podium positions left, right and centre, and he's now got a fastest lap of the race if he can hold that to the end, but it's just not an actual race win, as Tom Roach does another bit of lapping midfield there. Paul Tucker just the red car with the yellow stripe, and Roach being quite sedate about this. He's got a nice comfy lead just now, currently hovering about the 4.5 second to 5 second bracket over the battle, which we can see just leaving. Yes, that looks like Jade Edwards going out extremely wide there on her usual line. As the guys come down towards Stowe. Such are these conditions today. It's a credit to all these drivers that we haven't seen a safety car because somebody's been beached in the gravel trap. We haven't seen more cars off in a couple of spins, but credit to all these drivers. And they're also noticing the blue flags at the marshals here, the guys at the side of the track wearing the orange gear. You're doing a cracking job standing out there in the horrendous weather we have here today at Silverstone. All the drivers are obeying the flags and staying out the way and letting this man carve his way through the traffic. And that is Tom Roach. We do seem to go on quite a lot about Tom Roach, but that's only because he is such a class act. Doing so much winning, he runs a very, very good tight ship in Blandini Motorsport. And there's the Henderson battle. Henderson leading that one now as they go in towards Abbey Corner. Brett Smith will have something to say about that towards the end of the race, you're almost guaranteed. And then never ever discount Jade Edwards in that number 9 car, the white number 9 car. Number 21 about to go a lap down. Here's Chandler, and he gets done just before the hangar straight there. Pierce stays well out of the way. Pierce Chandler, easy to mistake him for Tom Roach from a fair distance, one would say. And there's Brett Smith in the background fanning out to try and get a bit of visibility. Now, is that a passing manoeuvre on Henderson? Looks like those guys are side by side. He tucks back in though. Alan Henderson still having that. No, is that Brett Smith has actually got past. So Brett Smith in the background there, just out of our sight. Looks like he's now ahead of Alan Henderson. So we'll need to keep our eyes on that. As Tom Roach makes his way through more traffic and heads down the Vale towards the club corner area off the track. We haven't seen much in the way of Simon Goddard today, and that's a great shame because Simon really is he's down and round about 12th, 13th, 14th position right now. But here comes your man, it's Tom Roach out of club corner. Important you don't drop it there, Tom, because that's an easy thing to do on those wet curbs. As he heads along the start-finish straight again, trying to get past another car. He's now got the visibility problems which everybody else has been having since lap 1. The first 100 yards of the race, to tell you the truth, because when you're going through this traffic here, the back marker's making it extremely difficult for Tom Roach. So he's getting a face full of spray, and that will also be doing the inside of his windscreen no good. Exactly what Charlie Charman was battling against earlier on when we saw Charlie trying to wipe his hand across the screen. We've got a station yellow flag there. That's for the Paul Bishop car, yeah, Paul Bishop. Station yellow flag, always before a waved yellow flag. A waved yellow flag meaning great danger, and that's the Paul Bishop car, which isn't too far off the circuit there. But Race Direction happy with that one, and they're going to let that go as we see Alex Preston going up the inside of Daniel Rogers. Now, is Rogers going to give him any space on the exit of the corner? These two young guns getting it on as they go down the hangar straight. Truck crossing the bridge there, but we see Brett Smith is well and truly ahead of Alan Henderson now. There's Brett Smith in the blue number 39 car ahead of the number 90 black, white and red Henderson car. As they both go through the corner down the Vale is Tom Roach. Be good to catch up with a bit of Brett Smith, but it looks like Brett Smith actually looks like he's at safe and sound in that second place, and that will be absolutely fantastic for his championship. As Tom Roach clicks off another lap here. Lap here at Silverstone, and now a little bit clear road for him, and you can see the Smith and Henderson battle down there with Jade Edwards having a go. I think Jade Edwards was actually passing Stephen Craggs there, passing one of the back markers, Stephen Craggs in number 47 car, and she has made that pass move and stick. Also, it looks like Alex Preston and the Daniel Rogers battle, that's separated a little bit in the background as well. And interestingly, Alan Henderson is managing to stay with Brett Smith, about a second and a half between them. Brett Smith, absolutely all action in his MX-5, as he has been from the minute he stepped in that car. Nice laid back kind of chap. We saw him getting interviewed by Bryn, and yeah, he looks like he's really getting on and enjoying his MX-5 racing here in Britain this year, as Roche goes past another car in towards Stowe Corner, number 72 this time, making himself scarce. That's Joshua Jackson, and he stays well out the way. We're on board with 32, the nice yellow car, the Blink Motorsport car of Alex Preston as Preston turns in. A little bit of correction here, not too much in the way of correction. It looks like he's got that thing dialed in for these wet weather conditions, that's for sure. Did look like he was having all sorts of troubles in the first race, as did quite a few of the guys on that very greasy, horrible track. But Preston right now, well, he's behind Charlie Charman. You can see Charlie's just ahead of us there, and that's not great for his championship. He is battling with Charlie, but as long as he's quite close to him, I think he should get away with it. Bryn was talking about scores being dropped. They do get to drop 3 scores. 3 of their lowest points scoring finishes get dropped off, and that will give us the true outcome of the championship. But this man is already your champion, that is for sure. Tom Roach in the number 1 car, defending champion and now current champion. Even after his dropped scores, his 3 lowest scores, and that's the problem if you do so much in the way of winning. You're going to have to drop big points, but Tom did have a couple of slightly worse results. We could say worse results, but they're still cracking in other people's eyes, as we're on board with Charlie Charman. And conditions seem to just be staying exactly the same. There are lots of water everywhere, not much in the way of a dry line appearing. Everybody absolutely soaked. And these drivers absolutely loving it as they come down the hanger straight towards Stowe Corner. But here he comes, it's Tom Roach. It looks like another car about to go a lap down if Tom Roach bothers to do it. That'll be Kevin Brent in the number 41 car. But Roachy comes through. He comes out of Club Corner and he'll just be nursing this one home to the finish. It's all about Mr. Tom Roach this year. 2013, the BRSCC Mazda MX-5 Championship has been absolutely dominated by the Blendini Motorsport number 1 driver, and he wins again. He makes it a double here at Silverstone on the International Circuit. In second place, we're going to see number 39, Brett Smith, coming over the line, with Alan Henderson and Jade Edwards coming home in 4th place. So cracking result all the way through there. Brett Smith did say he wanted to get another good result and get onto the podium. Well, he's done that. Oh, as we see Chris Hart having a huge moment there. There's the checker flags going out, but these guys are still well and truly racing. Chris Hart getting himself in all sorts of trouble there. Brilliant stuff, Chris. But there is your race winner, and he has made it a double here this weekend on the International Silverstone Circuit. What a way to sign off his 2013 MX-5 season with a double race win. And in second place, another good second for Brett Smith. So you see a sunny picture in the background. Roach from Smith and Henderson are your top 3, with Edwards, Rogers and Charman, Preston, Clements, Blackwell, Chambers and Martin Tolley in 8th position. Great results for all these guys. Simon Goddard down in 14th place. Sam Smith also in 15th. But signing off from a very wet Silverstone.
Tom, we knew it was going to happen. Well done.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a perfect way to end what's been a brilliant year. The car was great again, and I love racing in the rain. It was brilliant. You couldn't see anything when lapping people, but it was brilliant fun.
It looked quite scary as soon as the heavens opened, though. We knew what was going to happen.
Yeah, there was a bit of a doubt before the race whether it was going to be dry or wet, but no doubt once it started.
So show us your trophy. Look at that.
More importantly,
Tom's got new trainers as well, and I know you want to say a massive thank you to all your team.
The car's been brilliant all year, and it's just thanks to these guys I've got to say a massive thank you.
Who are they?
Julian, Josh, Tom, Josh, Joe, Callum, George, Kerry, Hugh.
Do you know what? They're being quieter than they've ever been before. Yeah, look at that. They're all on best behaviour now. Once again, Tom, well done. Fantastic win, and it's completely well deserved.
Thank you.